Well, it happened, folks. To start this episode, Bubba went on a 7-minute rant, but it wasn't all bad. Listen to his post-election night reaction, along with his tips for a successful marriage, family, and country. That actually sounds pretty good if you ask me. On this episode of the What Is Up podcast, Bubba talks with a former co-worker who also had a lackluster stint as a root service rep at City Laundry. You may remember this guy from his glory days as a standout multi-sport athlete at Wapsie Valley. But don't look for his name on the 2012 state championship football roster. He regrettably sat that year out.
Aw, pooey.
He was good enough, however, to earn a scholarship to play some college baseball at Grandview.
Oh, nice.
Which is very impressive considering he had life-saving brain surgery as a young boy. Taylor Sickles is an avid outdoorsman and is passing on his passion for sports, hunting, fishing, and trapping to all 5 of his kids. And that is where his joy comes from, being the best dad and husband he can be.
Now that's how it's done.
He may live in Jessup and bleed blue and orange, but he will always be a warrior. Here's your host, Bubba Seaman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What is up? Before we get to today's episode, we gotta just stop the script. I mean, we're recording this November 6th. This is what, Wednesday night? I don't record at night, so obviously this guy is special. This is a good guess, but we just gotta pause the whole thing because this is post-election day. It was crazy last night. I don't care what you believe, how you vote, none of that stuff. Remember, this is a no offense zone in here. If you can't handle it, then this ain't the podcast for you. We can have our own views, our own beliefs, our own opinions. It's okay to share them. So I'm just going to say congrats to President Trump, J.D. Vance. They won that thing. They won it in a way probably most of us didn't think they would, even if they could. It was pretty impressive. And, for me, I always say what's going on in your house is way more important than what's going on in the White House anyway. So remember that. I continue to pray for our leaders as I always do. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. The Bible tells us pray for your leaders. So that's what I do. I want them to seek God's guidance in every decision they make. But in my opinion, I was kind of shocked a little bit because this was not just a political comeback. This isn't something small. This is something we've never seen before. This was like a political resurrection. This guy, they threw everything at this guy. If it were me, I'd be at my golf course golfing. I'd say it ain't worth it. But this was insane. This guy went from being loved by Hollywood and some of the most powerful people in our country to being the most hated and attacked. It was crazy. If I were him, I would have thrown in the towel a long time ago. The attacks aren't worth it. And even though he doesn't gain anything, he stayed in it because he says America is worth it, because we the people are worth it. And I think a clear message was sent last night that most of the news media has lost almost all credibility. That's one of the reasons your podcasts are rising so fast, because that's uncensored. You got to find the truth in it, but it's uncensored. So, man, I'm not going to call out names. You guys in the news media, you know who you are. I highly doubt you know who I am, but we're kind of calling you out, I guess. We can think for ourselves. We don't need you to tell us what to think or anything like that. We can think critically. We can make decisions for ourselves. I think last night kind of proved that. Obviously, that many people aren't going to vote for Hitler. Maybe you should have stopped calling him Hitler. No one's Hitler but Hitler. Let's be real, okay? I don't need celebrities to tell me what to think. You're celebrities. Big deal. You're still a human being. You got bad breath in the morning. You pass gas. You're no different than me. You're just famous. Big deal. I'm not going to be influenced by you, and neither should any young people you're trying to influence. They shouldn't be either. You know what I mean? They were telling us the world's going to end. I heard so many different things the other day from like Oprah and all these different people, all these celebrities. They're just saying women aren't going to be able to vote. The world's going to end. All this stuff. And it's like, bro, you are just crying wolf constantly. It's not that bad. My goodness.
Yeah, Oprah said this would be the last election that anybody gets to vote if Trump wins.
Where's that coming from?
That's insanity.
How does a president have that power? He doesn't. He doesn't.
No, not at all.
This is insane. But I think I think the way the votes came in, it kind of showed them that we're not buying it. The majority of people aren't buying it.
Well, I think, like you said, the media, right?
Yep.
They've lost touch with the rest of the country, and
yep.
us citizens, we don't listen to it. We're not putting up with it anymore.
That's right.
We have our own opinions.
We have minds of our own,
right,
given to us by our Creator that are far more sophisticated than we can even understand. You know, animals don't have this kind of a mind. We have a conscience. We can think. We have the ability to educate ourselves on issues and not just listen and follow whatever other people tell us to think.
100%.
Attaboy. But remember, my pitch, my saying all the time to us small town families is what's going on in your house is more important than what's going on in the White House. Let's have strong marriages where both husband and wife sacrifice for each other. You want to know the key to marriage? That's what it is. You can't just focus on when it doesn't feel good for you or it's not right for you or you're not getting what you want. You sacrifice. Think about those vows you made. You sacrifice for each other and you train up your kids in the way they should go. Okay? With the starting point should be a real relationship with Jesus and an understanding of the Word of God. People ask me all the time, why are my kids leaving the church? Why is this happening? And I just tell them, like, well, if they have a relationship with the Lord, they're going to want to be in church. If we don't lead them to a relationship with the Lord, they're going to think church is just something they do on Sunday for a little bit and then they go out. The Lord Jesus wants a relationship with us. That's life-changing stuff.
Right.
So that's what we got to strive for, in my opinion. Because then you're going to want to understand the Word of God. You're going to want to know His morals, His principles that should shape our thoughts and opinions. That's the secret recipe right there. It's really not a secret recipe. It's right there in the Bible. Seek God, put Him first, walk with Him daily. We'll have strong families, strong marriages, full churches, and watch what happens to society and culture. Everyone says it's so bad out there. Well, that's how you fix it. It starts right at home with your marriage, with your kids, and it just blossoms out from there. Lead them to a relationship with the Lord, walk with the Lord. Let that be your guiding post. Don't let society be your compass, because society is going to tell you this is okay today. Now it's not. Now we got to do this. Now we got to do this. Now this is different. Now we don't even know what a woman is anymore. So I mean, bro, don't go with society. Go with something that's tried, tested, and
faith can't just be at church, right? It's every day, and you got to raise your kids in that environment, like if that's what you believe, and everybody's open to their own beliefs.
Yeah.
Right. But faith isn't just a one day a week thing.
Absolutely not. Because the kids will see that.
Yeah.
They will see that. They're smart. They'll see it.
And then it becomes a chore. It's not something they want to do.
Yep.
But it should be part of your everyday life.
Yep.
And raising kids, that stuff's important.
Absolutely.
You need faith. You need to be able to not only the faith, but teach them to be good people.
Yep.
Do the right thing.
All that stuff's in
Whether
there. Yeah.
people are looking or watching or not, you do the right thing.
That's right. That's right. Doing the right thing when no one's looking, that's what character is. It really is. So, all right, there you go. That's my post-election words of wisdom this evening. I'm sorry. I couldn't even focus at work today. I was just thinking about it. It was pretty cool. I hope it's a great 4 years. I hope Congress works together. I hope the cabinet that Trump picks, just like last time, he put together a great cabinet around him that he could benefit from, men like Ben Carson and stuff like that. Those are good men. That's quality men. So,
well, I think Kennedy's going to be in there.
Yep, RFK. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
Oh, this was an assembling. You saw the people that kind of came from the center left came to Trump, and it's like this is going to be
Vivek.
good.
I think he's going to be.
Vivek, yeah.
That's another good one, I think.
He appeals to a wide range of people, and we're going to see how it goes, man.
Yep.
I'm
excited.
If we didn't lose anybody yet, whether you're listening or watching, I don't know. I can't see the viewers there, but thanks for watching. Let's get to today's episode. I got to remind everybody, whether you are listening or watching, be sure to subscribe, follow, like, wherever you're at, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Leave us that 5-star review, that 5-star rating. Click that thing right now. While I'm rambling, just click that thing. It helps me reach more people, okay? Follow our Instagram and our Facebook. Share with all your friends on your social media. Show off your impeccable taste by sporting some of our merch. You want one of these What Is Up hoodies right here? So I think there's only one made in existence right now. You want number 2? I'll hook you up. Let me know. Send me an email, whatisuppodcast@gmail.com, and tell us what you think and what you want, and we'll hook you up. Then send me a picture of yourself wearing our awesome gear. Once you've done all those things, now you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. And I got a good one for you today. Let me tell you, I've been working on this one for a while. Our schedules really didn't line up at all. I met today's guest way back in like 2017, I think it was, 2018.
I think so. Probably
Somewhere in
2017, right around there.
Trying to think. We were both working on our short-lived careers as route service reps over there at City Laundry in Olwine.
Very short-lived, thankfully.
We're like dominoes, you than me. I didn't know what a pellet grill was until he informed me one day that this delicious deer jerky that he brought to work that I was eating, it said it was made on a Traeger. My wife got me a Traeger. She just bought it for me. I'm like, I don't know what a Traeger is, but this is pretty good deer jerky.
They are wonderful.
Yeah. I once made him laugh so hard on the job that Powerade in Copenhagen came out of his nose. You remember that?
I do.
Do you remember the joke?
I do not remember the joke.
Oh, yeah, that'll come out. This guy was a standout baseball player at Wapsie Valley back in the day. He even got to play a little college baseball for Grandview on scholarship, which is pretty impressive considering he had brain surgery as a kid. He met his wife while playing slow pitch softball. I mean, there's no better place to meet women than on the ball diamond.
Right here in Fairbank.
Right here in Fairbank. Awesome. He's an avid outdoorsman and is doing his best to pass that passion down to his 5 kids. And that's where he finds his joy, being a husband and a dad. Taylor Sickles, what is up, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Glad you wanted to do it.
Absolutely.
So going over let's just start with the joke. So Taylor, you were transitioning out. I was kind of riding with you, going to take over your route. And we were in Dubuque one day. And I don't know what it was. Oh, I think it was like raining out or something. I come around the corner, you're in the cab of the truck, you just put a dip in, and I shut the door and all the rainwater came down. I was like, dude, I got to dry my hands off. And you go, I don't really got anything. I got this sock right here. And I go, yeah, that's what every truck driver says with a sock. And the Powerade and the chew, I didn't know at the time, come up through your nose and you said it's burning.
I vividly remember that part of the deal, yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure and bring that up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, going through some of your other notes before we get into too much, something that puzzled me, you said I'm a Braves and a Cubs fan. You know that's not possible.
It is weird. I know.
How can they don't mesh?
I know. My wife and I both big baseball fans, big sports fans, but baseball especially. And I think just the 90s, right? Like the Braves.
They were good.
They were good. They were one of those teams.
Yeah.
And then also being in our area like the Cubs and WGN and just being able to watch the games.
Oh, yeah.
Which I prefer to listen to baseball on the radio, to be honest. I love listening to baseball on the radio. But just the Braves were good, man. They had Maddox, the Glavine, Smoltz, Rocker, which Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz are 3 of my sons are named after those 3.
Yeah.
And Chipper and Andrew Jones, like
Justice,
Avery.
Yeah.
You know, they were just so good, so fun to watch. But then being in this area of the country, right? The Cubs are close, and everybody loves the Cubs, the lovable losers.
That's right.
And I think just that it is strange.
It is.
It is strange, and maybe it's the fact that I'm a Cyclones fan, a Vikings fan, and a Cubs fan. I needed somebody that won, right? Like
okay.
Somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should take those tips. My teams never win, man. Raiders stink. I mean, the Raiders. That's where good players go to end their career and die.
You're not wrong.
Vegas. You know what I mean?
You're
Yeah.
not
Cubs.
wrong.
Okay. Well, we already reminisced a little bit about cities, so let's just for the audience who might not know you. Obviously, everyone in the Fairbank area is going to know who you are and stuff like that. But I'm going to have to put up a graphic at some point. We've got listeners in like almost all 50 states now. When I look on
really?
Spotify,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's getting there. It's getting really close. I want to say we're in the 40s.
Awesome.
We're closing in on 40. So there's people who might not know you. So just give us, real quick, just a little bit about yourself. Short answer. Day to day in the Sickles family.
Well, like
What's it
you said,
about?
my name's Taylor Sickles. I was born and raised Reedland, Iowa. Graduated from Wapsie in 2010, so I'm 32 years old. Been married to my wife now for 9 years. It'll be 10 in June. Like I said, met playing softball in Fairbank, Iowa. Good old slow pitch. There's nothing better.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, now we live together in Jessup. Have 5 kids. Our oldest is a daughter, Tennyson. She's 11. And then we have Maddox is 8, Glavin 6, SJ, which is Smoltz, is 3, and Jones is 2. And like we talked about a little bit, spent a lot of time outside, a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting. If we're not doing that, we're probably playing football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah.
My oldest son started to wrestle, so I'm having to learn that now.
You didn't know wrestling?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. See, that's the misconception about social media. I see your social media, I see all the outdoor stuff, and then I see the wrestling stuff. In my head, I just think, okay, Taylor wrestled.
No,
he didn't.
No.
Okay.
I went to Pee Wee Wrestling one time when I was little. I walked in the room, I started crying, and I walked right back out, and I never went back. My dad was the head girls basketball coach at Wapsie for 12 years, maybe something like that.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time out at Wapsie when I was a kid growing up. A lot of time in the basketball gym.
Okay.
I grew up out in Klinger, right by Community Lutheran.
Okay.
The gym was always open.
Yep.
So I could walk in there, spend a lot of time in that gym. Wrestling was not it.
No. Hey, it's not for everybody.
No, and I love it now. I'm learning slowly. But no, I definitely did not wrestle back in the day.
Okay.
When Maddox started wrestling last December, I said, dude, all I got for you, stay off your back, don't look at the lights. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, that's 2 good ones.
Yeah, that's it.
I told the other dads a couple years ago when JJ got into it, I told the other dads, I was like, you guys tell them I don't know what to do. You go ahead, yell at them all you want. I don't care. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm looking at here. I know you're not supposed to get on your back. You want the other guy on his back. That's it. So, all right. What's the missus do for a living?
She works in the hematology world. So she actually works
medicine.
Yep, she's
medical world?
Down at the University of Iowa hospitals in their hemophilia clinic.
Oh, I thought you said she was like one of the head people of a few hospitals around here.
She used to work. She was like a traveling supervisor for ARJ. They're out of the Cedar Rapids area. But here a couple years ago, she took a job with the University of Iowa.
Okay. Cool.
A little less travel. She was on the road a lot with her previous job, so now she's at the University of Iowa. She only has to go to Iowa City like once a week, so it's not terrible. And she does a lot of traveling yet, but it's more local.
Okay.
Around within the couple hours of Jessup.
Sure.
So it's not as bad as what it used to be. Her previous job, she'd go to South Dakota twice every couple months.
Yikes.
So it was a lot.
Yeah, that would be. That's a bit much. Okay. So your schedule, you said you work for
Hydrate Chemical.
Okay.
In Waterloo.
You work that schedule
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 a to 6:30 p.
And we talked about that when you were leaving city. You're like, I'm gonna do that. My kids don't have to go to daycare.
Yep.
Like I will be with them Monday through Thursday.
Yep.
Like that's such a good choice. That's a sacrifice, but you also gain a lot.
It is like. My wife and I definitely don't get as much time together as some couples, and that's not great all the time. But having that time with my kids, not having to pay all the money to daycare, like there's so many pros to it.
Yeah.
My wife jokes, hey, here in a year or 2, you're gonna go to first shift, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I might need a year of just me time. So once Jones go to school, maybe we'll take like a year. Where I just get...
Where you got Monday through Thursday all by
just
yourself?
Me.
Oh, man.
Just before I go to the 5 days. I don't know how I can go from that 3-day work schedule to a 4 or 5 day. It's going to be different. But in all reality, I do look forward to it. Missing a lot of wrestling tournaments, basketball tournaments, softball tournaments, baseball tournaments. It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. And the kids, are you coming to the tournament today? And they don't understand. Hey, if I had unlimited PTO, I'd be there.
Sure.
Right. I wouldn't miss a thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss anything, but it is what it is. So sooner than later,
yeah.
We'll get off that shift.
They'll understand when they get a little bit older. They'll totally get it.
I hope so.
It's a cool sacrifice. I honestly, when you left, I was like, bro, I don't know. I get why you're doing it, but I was like, if we were betting, I was like, this ain't gonna last forever. There's no way.
Hey man, my wife said the same thing. She said, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
And am I gonna sit here and be like, man, I love it? No. No. Has it worked for our family? Absolutely.
Yep.
It's there's things that some doctor's appointments, some other stuff that we can do during the week nobody's got to take off work.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm home Tuesday morning. Let's go do this. We got to do that.
Yeah.
It's nice for that stuff.
Heck yeah. No, it's a good choice. Good choice. Good sacrifice, man. I like it. All right, well, let's get into your story. Let's see if we can encourage some people or maybe share some things that maybe you can't really self-incriminate yourself anymore, but, maybe people will hear some things they never heard before. Let's go back to the childhood. What was it like for Taylor growing up as a youngster around here?
Oh, pretty boring, right? Like, I feel like all of us growing up back in the day, there wasn't the social media, there wasn't the internet, there wasn't all this other stuff going on. We grew up on a gravel road by Community Lutheran outside of Reedland. I only have one sister. She's 5 years older than me. So it was us two, and then there was a couple different families within the couple miles where we would get on the old dial-up phone, in the morning. We'd call each other, and we'd all ride our bikes, meet up at some intersection on the gravel road, and we'd hang out at somebody's house for the day, and you just knew you had to be back by dark.
Wow.
Or call mom and dad before and say, hey, I'm staying here. This is where I'm at.
Wow, I never, like the city life when you're a kid, that was the same thing, except, wow, you're saying you'd meet on just an intersection of the gravel road. You got to take the city part out of it. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
We'd hop on the bikes and fishing poles or, whatever we were going to do for the day and ride our bike a mile. The closest intersection we'd all meet was about 3/4 of a mile. So, yeah, we'd all about 3/4 of a mile, and then we'd ride farther to somebody's house. We'd ride back to our house, and we had a pool at our house growing up.
Oh, wow.
So spent a lot of time there. A lot of the friends came over, and I don't like pools. I don't like swimming. My kids always want to go to the pool, and I'm like, let's do something else.
Why don't you like the pool?
I just not a fan. I didn't mind it like a private pool, right? But the public pools don't do it for me.
Yeah, no, I can kind of get that.
But I don't know. When I was younger, I hated swimming lessons. I didn't like any of it. Maybe that's why. I was probably just a chicken.
I don't get the whole swimming lessons thing, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one I knew did swimming lessons. You went to the pool, you learned how to swim, or you drowned.
Right.
So you just learn how to do it.
I mean, I hated swimming lessons so much. I don't remember how old I was. I broke my arm falling off the monkey bars on Memorial Weekend one year. And that was the last. I never had to do swimming lessons again because I couldn't get in the water because I had a cast on. I was never so happy to break my arm. I didn't have to go back to swimming lessons.
That's not how you get out of swimming lessons,
right?
Kids. You don't break
I don't suggest that. But
man.
I was so happy. I hated swimming lessons. Hated them.
Oh, that's funny.
And Jason Kaiser can attest to that, by the way, that I hated swimming lessons.
What was he around? Was he teaching back then?
He was a lifeguard or taught swimming lessons back then, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I gotcha. So the question is, you made your kids do swimming lessons?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's good parenting right there.
To be honest,
I did it. You got it.
I'm not as big. My wife is more worried about a lot of that stuff, which rightfully so. I'm more like, they'll figure it out. Yeah. But yes, they do go to swimming lessons.
Okay.
They do not like them either. Our two oldest are great. They're fish. They'll jump in, do whatever. The next one, he does not like swimming lessons. No. He's fine with the pool. We go to the pond, we go fishing, he'll hop in, jump in, he's fine. Get swimming lessons? Nah.
No, don't want nothing to do with the structure of it, huh?
No, I think it's just, there's strangers trying to teach him what to do. There's other kids involved.
Yeah.
And he's 80-some pound 6-year-old. Looks like he's 10, and he's so scared.
Yeah.
It's comedy, really.
Is that the one that wants to kill the squirrels or whatever you posted
No,
about
that's
today?
the youngest one.
That's the youngest
one. He's 2. He sees a squirrel, man. He comes running. He tells me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny stuff. All right. So how did things progress? What's junior high school like? I mean, you don't ride bikes on the gravel forever. You eventually get involved in some stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I went to Community Lutheran, and that was all the way through 8th grade.
Okay.
So sports were big. We had, I graduated 8th grade at CLS with 5 kids in my class. Small.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't like it. I was trying to tell my mom, I want to go to Wapsie. So sent me to junior high. Looking back, I'm glad I stayed. I loved it.
Okay.
I love the kids that I went to school with. We still have relationships today. We're all busy. We don't talk much. But if we do see each other, it's like it was yesterday that we said, we were hanging out.
Okay.
So that's great. Sports were big, though. It's a small school.
Sure.
We started competitive sports in 5th grade over there. You start going to Waterloo, had a Lutheran school.
Yep.
Central Newhall, Davenport, Williamsburg, Cedar Rapids. We would go there on Saturdays and play flag football. We'd go there during the winter on Saturdays and play basketball, baseball in the spring. So we played a lot of stuff. It was great. And then got done with that. Ended up obviously going to Wapsie, and had a good 4-year run. Obviously, it was when you're in school, man, I can't wait till school's over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm so ready to be an adult. Man, you're wrong. I tell you, you're wrong.
You miss those days.
You
Once
do.
they're gone, they're
fast.
gone, man.
They go fast.
Yeah.
But I did. I loved my 4 years at Wapsie. Good teachers, good coaches. I got nobody to complain about.
Did you do everything?
I did football my freshman, junior, and senior year. I did not go out my sophomore year.
You regret that?
Absolutely. It was a state championship team.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And my cousin, Austin Matthias, was on that team, was a senior that year. He had some choice words for me. A lot of them did, telling me, hey, you need to come out. And I didn't want to do it for whatever reason. I didn't think I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And, regret it big time.
Oh,
That's what,
man.
over the years now, some other kids that I've ran into, or nieces, nephews, whatever, and they talk about, I'm not going to play this. It's like, do it. I promise you, I've been there. I've done it. I followed through with that. You will regret it.
Yeah.
There's only 4 years. You don't get to go back and do any of that again.
Yeah.
But no, then I played 4 years of basketball. Played varsity for 4 years, so I got 4 years of Marty.
Okay.
Which I loved every second of it. I would not change that for the world.
He must be good.
Oh yeah, one of the best for sure. Not even close. Baseball, I played all the way through. That was my favorite sport. I loved it. We were horrible. Absolutely horrible.
But was that your sport? If you had to say your sport, was it basketball or baseball?
Honestly, probably baseball. I mean, I loved basketball, and I had a chance to play basketball, baseball, or football at the next level in different schools.
Okay.
Nothing big, obviously, but like I ended up going to Grandview for baseball, and I talked to them about all three. I had visits for basketball, baseball, and football to Grandview.
Okay.
Actually, when I left Grandview, I took a visit to Upper Iowa for basketball.
Okay.
Just decided it wasn't for me. But no, I loved baseball. The numbers weren't there when I was in school. It was 10, 11 kids out for baseball. We were starting 2, 3, 4, 8th graders on varsity every year.
Yeah.
It was tough. And then I golfed for 3 years.
Okay.
My first 3 years, which I regret. I don't regret golfing. I love golf. I loved golfing for Coach Davis. It was awesome. I do slightly wish I would have ran track.
Well, yeah.
It was just something I didn't want to do going into the summer. I'm young, dumb. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to golf. I'm going to take it easy.
Take it easy. Yep.
Looking back, I do wish I would have ran. Obviously, Coach Davey is an incredible coach, incredible teacher, great person. So looking back, I wish I would have given that a shot.
Yeah.
But hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a good program going sure.
He does.
Could you do both? Was that an option? Do you remember?
Honestly, I never asked, never gave it a thought.
Because we got kids now. Dallas Tissue did football and cross country.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're talking fall compared to spring, but how do you do both? Like, the coaches will make it work. So
yeah, man, that's tough.
But if you didn't know if you had the drive to do track, you wouldn't have done golf and track. So
see, and like my parents growing up had this thing where me and my sister had to do something. You weren't gonna take time off. Whatever season it was, you were doing something.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I got to golf or I got to run track. I'm golfing. I'm not running track.
Golfing's leisure.
That sounds horrible, right? Like, again, looking back, I wish I would have ran, but I loved golf. I loved Davis. Had a lot of good times in the spring.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's good stuff. Okay, so you did settle on a baseball scholarship with Grandview.
Yeah.
You went and did that for a bit. What was that like?
Honestly, I only did it for the first few weeks. which again is another regret. But school was never a strength of mine. So when I got down there and, the class structure, everything was different.
Oh, yeah.
Than what Wapsie is. I don't know what Wapsie is now. Back then when you're an athlete at Wapsie, it was pretty easy.
Sure.
So now you go down to college and you're by yourself. You don't have anybody giving you that structure. It was just you kind of have the leisure.
You're
to
on
do.
your own. Yeah.
Yep. And at that point, I just decided. I said, hey, if I'm gonna do this school thing, I can't be having my focus with baseball and being on the road and traveling to these other places. So I ended up giving it up. And I regret it to a point, but at the same time, I don't. It would have been a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think people quite get that. I've talked to a couple people, and they say, yeah, when you even schools like that, but the bigger schools, how do these guys play for a Big Ten school and be a student?
It's crazy.
You're a semi-professional athlete is what you are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they got to be doing stuff to help them get their work done. Because
100%.
You're an athlete first and a student second, even though they say they're not. I think we all know they are.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it'd be tough. So then you said you came back and you kind of bounced around UNI and Hawkeye and what? Then you just kind of said school is just...
Yeah, when I came back, my mom... Well, both my parents, my mom especially, and my sister, being the older sister, they always kind of pushed, you got to go to school. You got to go to school.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I kept trying school, and I finally got to that point. I was like, I can't, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I definitely disappointed my mom.
Aww.
And, my dad, my sister, whatever. But it just wasn't for me. And I wasn't going to keep going down that path. And it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah. I get it.
I loved Grandview. Like I came back after a semester. I loved it. It was a small field like Wapsie. But once I decided not to play baseball, it was $40,000 a year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at that point, I'm like, I'm not doing that. So that's when I came back. And like I said, I bounced around Hawkeye a little bit, UNI a little bit. And it just wasn't for me. I said, do I wish I maybe would have done some things differently? Of course.
Sure.
But at the same time, where I'm at with my life right now and how it's all gone, I wouldn't change it.
It's worked out pretty good,
right.
huh? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we need all kinds, man. If you want that degree, go get it. But if you don't know if you want that, you're not going to sit around and pay for that college education, and you're not even sure you know what you want. What are you going to do? You're going to accumulate a bunch of debt. Right. You're going to have a degree that you don't even know if you want to. No, that doesn't make sense.
Well, that's where I think the United States as a country, quit pushing it, which I think it's gotten a lot better,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But for the longest time, it's like, oh, you got to go to school. Like, if you don't go to school and get a degree, you're a nobody.
You'll be a failure.
Like, no, and that's
not true.
Farthest thing from the truth.
Yep.
There's so many people that you talk to every day that you've known your whole life that went to a little bit of college, didn't go to any college, whatever that case may be. There's good people, there's successful people everywhere.
Yeah.
And
I know we got family that went to college. Now they're at Deers. They don't use that college degree.
Right.
They got a pretty good job at Deers or at Hydride or whatever. It takes all kinds, man. I think people are onto it for sure now that we need people in the workforce.
Yeah.
I mean, these places, if you need specialized training, whether it's electrician or whatever, we got friends. Their daughter, Erin Reardon, shout out Erin Reardon. I'm pretty sure the electric company she got hooked up with says, we'll pay for your school.
Right.
You go, we fit it in for you. You know what I mean? You work for us, you get on the job training, and then we're going to pay for your school. Bro, that's a win-win right there.
For sure. And all the trades are great. The carpenters, plumbers, heating, cooling, electricians.
Always going to be in demand.
Always in demand. Good money.
Yep.
And it's a good job.
Yep.
It's not like you're going to absolutely kill yourself for forever.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's easy work.
No.
But they're good jobs.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be $100,000 in debt.
Nope, not at all.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction on that.
Agreed.
So for leisure, I imagine you did, like every good high school baseball player, you try and parlay that into a stellar slow pitch softball career. So tell us about how that was going, how you met your wife and all that good stuff.
when I came back from Grandview that first year, let's see, like Damian Sauerbry, Joey Jones, Brent Sauerbry, Aaron Sauerbry, Chris Shannon, all Wapsie guys of the past. They're all quite a few years older than me.
Yeah.
They had reached out to me and asked if I wanted to play with them. They played on a Fairbank had a men's league at the time during the spring.
Okay.
And they reached out and asked if I wanted to play, and I was like, absolutely. It sounds like a blast.
Yeah, softball's fun.
My whole life I played shortstop. That's what I went to college, be middle infield. Then when I come back, now I'm the young, fast guy. So they're like, dude, you're in the outfield.
Okay.
We're not going out there. And at first I was like, I don't know about all this. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
Loved it. It was so much fun, and playing with those guys, getting to know them all. It was a blast. And then fast forward a few years, they all kind of retired, got out of the slow pitch game. So I hopped around with some of the other Fairbank teams, and then made my own teams a handful of the years.
Yeah.
It's been a blast. But yeah, I don't know. One year I was playing, would have been 2014, playing in the co-ed league in the summer, and yeah, that's how I met my wife.
I don't get the co-ed. I don't get.
I love it. Co-ed softball's a blast.
Yeah, because you met your wife there, but how do you? I never played co-ed. I couldn't imagine ripping a smoker to third base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they probably didn't have a girl there, I guess.
See,
But
that's the thing. So, like our co-ed league here in Fairbanks, 6 guys, 4 girls.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to run out 8 girls, you can.
You can,
But you have to have 4 girls on the team.
Okay.
Typically, your girls play catcher, first, second, and outfield.
Okay.
So
they're not playing third.
Usually not playing
short.
third. Over the years, there's been a handful that can do it.
That can. Yeah.
And they were good. I mean, they deserve to be there.
Okay.
100%. Better than 98% of the guys.
Because they probably
softball.
Excelled at softball.
Oh yeah, one of them
it.
played softball at Iowa State.
Yeah.
Kate Moore. She could hit bombs.
Okay.
Oh yeah, plenty that deserve to play all over the field. But typically, your girls played.
Okay.
Yeah, catcher.
Yeah. No, I know the whole mentality when you start putting that team together. When I had Brian Brungard on an episode or 2 ago, depending on when we release this one, but I was coaching baseball, helping coach baseball, and so I started a softball team, and I was like, man, these guys are all seniors. These guys are in the prime shape of they're all fat. So I mean, I had him, Patrick Reynolds, Bobby Brandt. I had all these high school baseball players that could just crush the ball, all fat. And I was like, I'm putting like 6 of you guys on my softball team if you want to play. And they all said, yeah. It was a blast, dude. When you're that young and that good, and you go, I mean, there's an art to slow pitch softball. There is, but if you can take high school baseball players and put them out there, man, you're 30-year-olds, upper 20s, you're not going to outwork these young kids.
No.
You're not going to outrun them. Most of us wouldn't.
No.
But I'll tell you this. I probably said this on here before. We were watching one game here in town last summer. My son-in-law, Ryan, was playing for his brother's team, for Austin's team.
Yep.
And so I went out there and sat in the outfield, in the bleachers in the outfield. And I just watched for a few minutes or whatever. Me and Sarah were watching, and I was like, I think I can play. I think I can still play.
Oh,
it was co-ed. It was co-ed.
Yeah, you could do it.
But I'm not 30. I'm 43 now.
So?
I know. And so I'm saying I can. I'm not saying I'm going to be great. Ever since I had that surgery on my neck, like I can't throw the same, like it doesn't release when it's supposed to. I don't have that. But I was like, I can still run. I think I could probably still hit. Like, I think I could play. If they were hurting for somebody and they need an extra guy, I was like, and Sarah and Bridget were like, Dad, shut up. No, they're not going to ask you to play. I was like, I'm not begging to play. I'm just saying, like, I think I'm watching them play co-ed softball, and I'm seeing the guys that are way better than me, and then I'm seeing my spot. Like, I could definitely still play.
That's what's been fun for me, like, getting older, is I would argue I'm still above average.
Sure.
Selfishly, I think that way. I'm biased, right?
Yep.
But not to only just care about winning, because that's what we do so many times. Like, you're younger, like, you just want to win.
Yep.
I don't care about anything else. And now it's like, guys, let's throw a 12-pack of beer in the cooler. Let's go play.
You're just
like,
trying to have fun.
Let's go play a couple games. You don't want to go get stomped. you don't want to show up and just get waxed every week, but
Yeah.
you want to be competitive. But if you lose, okay, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
Like, my kids are still there.
Still a fun day.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I
And
got
as you get older, you mature, and you realize all that stuff, none of it matters. Just have fun.
All right. Look at that. Good life advice from Taylor Sickles on the What Is Up podcast. You guys think we're an amateur operation. That's good stuff. So you had some fun facts in here. So I'm looking over that stuff. We talked about 5 kids, 1 daughter, 4 sons. You like the outdoors, all that good stuff. But you put in here, had brain surgery when you were very little. You gotta tell me a little bit about that. I think I kind of knew something about that, but I had never asked you about that. So
Yeah. I can't remember exactly. I think I was 4.
Well, that ain't that little. I thought you were talking about like coming out of the hospital or something.
No, I think I was like 3-4 years old, and I was in like preschool ish, give or take that time frame.
Yep.
And we were at recess or something, and obviously this has just been told to me. I don't remember, but I had like fallen over 2 days in a row, just doing like the most basic, like walking.
Okay.
And I was a fairly athletic, coordinated kid, even from a young age. And the teachers were like, so that's not right.
Yeah.
So my parents took me in for an MRI or whatever it was back then. And yeah, they found a cyst on my brainstem, and it was growing. And it was essentially, it would have just snapped the cord that goes from my brain to my heart.
Holy
I think
cow.
that was in the spring, and they said I would have not made it to my next birthday, which I'm a July birthday, so not too long. And
Holy cow.
the bright side of it, I guess, they said I wouldn't have felt anything. It would have just been a quick done, but they found it because of that. The teachers told my parents, hey, something doesn't seem right. So yeah, went down to Iowa City, had brain surgery, got a big scar on the back of my head. It's like,
So no, that's probably what it is I've noticed the scar before.
got like 90 stitches in it.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And it never affected you after that. Like obviously you did pretty good
No.
sports wise.
Nope. It's still there. The cyst is still there. They couldn't take it out because it's like intertwined with like my brainstem. So what they did is they cut it open and they butterflied it and pinned it to itself. So it's still there.
Really?
Yep.
No kidding. So it looks like kind of when you get your back strap back from the locker and they take it and fly it open a little bit. So it's basically 1/8 the size, I guess.
Yep.
No kidding. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to ask you about that, but
Yeah. For years, I don't know exactly when. I had to go for checkups all the time. Go down to Iowa City for MRIs and all that. But I don't know what year it was, how old I was. They finally gave me, you're good to go. Football was never an issue. Never had to have anything. I had regular sports, physical, all that. Never had to do anything extra for that. Played football, played basketball, baseball.
Huh.
Yeah.
man, see, I just started having these dizzy spells probably, I don't know, last 6 months or so. Not bad ones, not real bad, but just you wake up, when you wake up in the morning, some days you don't feel the best, but you get up, you get moving, it goes away.
Oh, yeah.
But man, I just have these moments sometimes where I'm like, oh, I just feel like just a little bit dizzy for no reason. Doctor's like, yeah, you need blood pressure medicine. Your blood pressure's high. I was like, I don't need blood pressure medicine. I'm barely overweight. I'm pretty active. Like I was just racing competitively, for old people anyway. Like just a few years ago, I was like, I don't need that. She goes, yeah, you do, dude. You're over 40.
Right.
I mean, unless you like that feeling of being kind of dizzy and stuff. I was like, no, I don't like that. She goes, it's high and it ain't coming down no matter what you do. I was like, no, I'll lose some weight. She goes, ain't gonna matter. Go ahead, lose some weight. It ain't gonna. Finally, I just did it. Just take some blood pressure medicine. It's a tiny, tiny little pill. But yeah, no more of those dizzy spells. That stuff ain't fun. But okay. Let's see what else we got in here. Something I wanted to ask you. In the small towns, a lot of us will grow up in a small town. We might even stay in that small town. But we never, if we move away, usually it's just some, not real close, or it's a much bigger place.
Right.
You and me both grew up in one town and then moved to another small town close by. So I would not necessarily rival, but when we're all this close, Jessup talks smack to Wapsie. Denver,
Right.
Wapsie, Dunkerton talks smack to everybody, but Dunkerton don't, beat anybody but in basketball. So what was it like for you growing up as a Wapsie kid, and now you're cheering on that blue and orange over there in Jessup.
To be honest, it was tough.
Really?
You talk about rivals. I tell you what, Jessup didn't rival Wapsie in anything.
You guys always beat them in everything?
Except for baseball.
Okay.
They've always had a good baseball program. Coach Wall over there, who he took the principal job up at Sumner now, so he's done. This last year was his last year, but he did a heck of a job. They always had a really, really good baseball program. But outside of baseball, yeah, we wiped the floor with Jessup and everything. So it was tough, especially football, right? Like you grew up a kid at Wapsie, you're not thinking about being what you want to do as a job. Your dream is, I want to play football for Wapsie.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing you want to do.
Yeah.
And now I go to Jessup. That's where I'm raising my kids. And there's no culture for Jessup football.
Yeah.
Kids don't care. People don't go to the games. Like it's crazy.
I thought you guys were going to do great this year. You guys beat us.
I told my wife, I said, hey, listen, like Jessup's got to figure something out. We're going to have to. We got to go back. We got to go back north. I don't know if I can do this. We got 4 boys. I'm not watching. No, I can't. But then last year, 2 seasons ago, Coach McMartin, that was his first year. And Sauer before him, Sullivan before him. They did good things. But McMartin did such a good job last year and this year of starting to build a culture.
Okay.
I mean, the kids look up to it. The kids in Jessup, the young ones, my boys, they love it.
Yeah.
My oldest, he's 8, or my oldest son, he's 8. He was a Jessup football player for Halloween. Like they're starting to do something where the kids are looking forward to that, and that goes a long way. If you got kids who want to be a part of it, you're gonna have kids coming up. As they get old, they're all gonna be wanting to play.
Yep.
And it was a long time where there wasn't that.
No.
So yeah, my first 5-6 years in Jessup, 7 years maybe, it was rough. It was rough. Basketball was okay. They were always, above average, girls and boys both. Football was it. That was the one. But it's getting better.
Yeah.
Now, the last couple of years, wrestling at Jessup has taken off.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't know anything about wrestling.
Yeah.
Some of my friends wrestled growing up. Landon Kane, best friend throughout high school, wrestled. Still never knew anything. But that's been fun to watch the last couple of years. Got to be pretty good friends with the wrestling coach over there, Matt Gross. Done a really good job.
Yeah.
They brought in a All-American, I believe, started at Iowa State, then he finished his career at Michigan. He's on the coaching staff at Jessup right now for wrestling.
Oh, wow.
A world bronze medalist, I believe.
Dang.
Joe Cologne, who's originally from Clear Lake, Iowa. Another one. The first one is Kanan Storr. So they got 2 high-level Division I college wrestlers on the staff in Jessup right now, plus all the other guys that they have. So they're doing really good things. So
Sure.
yeah, there was a while I wanted to come back to Wapsie. I'm not gonna lie, but that ship has sailed.
Okay.
I bleed blue and orange. I love it.
The
over
roots
there.
are in.
They're in. They're deep.
That's it. Well, that's good. Yeah, I don't know, you guys beat us first game of the year in high school this year. I was like, man, Jessup looks pretty decent. They really do. I thought you guys had some size on the line and a couple athletic kids and that. And
It hurt. Our quarterback got hurt.
Okay.
I can't remember what game it was. I think maybe the Hudson game. Second half quarterback got
Oh,
hurt.
he did, yeah.
Ryan Treptow.
Yeah.
Really good athlete. Good kid. He got hurt. And we went from him, senior, I don't know what Ryan is, 6'2", 6'3", and a big kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to like a 5'4" sophomore, and the drop off. And you're not blaming the kid, right? But the situation, it's hard. And then we run into PCM, Prairie City Monroe's in our district. Well, they're still playing right now. I think they're ranked 2nd in the state.
Yeah.
I think they got 3 kids that are over 300 pounds on their roster as a 2A high school team.
Wow.
That did some damage. I think we had 5 or 6 kids get hurt that game.
Physical game.
And after that, it was tough. Tough sledding.
Dang. Wow. Better days ahead, I'm sure.
But it's been fun. I believe that was the first time in school history Jessup has had playoffs back-to-back years.
Yeah.
which is it's kind of sad. But hey, we're on the up and up.
Yeah, it's sad for you because you're used to something much more consistent than that. But
exactly.
Yeah, for the rest of the schools, man, it don't matter. You get there, that's an
For sure.
accomplishment. That's good. Okay, we got a few minutes left before we close it out. I think we kind of opened up with my little spiel on that because I mean, my goodness, I claim this is a podcast about real life. We couldn't start an episode on November 6th and not talk about what happened November 5th. So, couple minutes, just what's your takeaway? I mean, I guess they're still counting votes, but it's all pretty much wrapped up. So what's your takeaway as last night when you were watching and then you went to bed or whatever, or woke up, what's going through your mind right now about the election?
To be honest, I really didn't think there was any way Trump would win.
Okay.
I really didn't think he would.
Right. A lot of people thought that.
So as the night went on, I stayed up. I stayed up as long as I could.
How long did you make it?
Shoot,
do you remember?
I don't even know. I don't even think I made it to midnight. Man, normally I'm like sawing logs in my recliner like 9:30. I'm an old man.
Oh, me too.
I'm an old man, especially when one of the kids climbs up, cuddles with me. Game over. Done.
Something.
But I stayed up later last night. All the kids were sleeping. Angie's sleeping. And then I crashed. But the more the night went on, you start thinking like, holy cow, this might actually happen.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, like I said, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock, I think I fell asleep. But I went to bed thinking that, yeah, it is going to happen. And I woke up this morning. That's the first thing I did. Naturally, I checked my phone, and sure enough.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. I just hoping to, not open up the social media and every news outlet and see just all the hate from both
panic,
sides.
fear.
And, because it's gross. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all humans. And I think most of us in rural America, small town, we all want the same thing.
Yep.
Right? Like, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, I don't care. But we all want to raise our kids in a good place to have a family. We want to send our kids to a good school. We want to be able to do what we want to do as people, as a family.
Yeah.
We want to love our friends and family and to be able to live our life.
Yep.
Like, if you take the Republican and the Democrat off of people and you just look at policies, I guarantee you there's a lot of us that would vote for the same person.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some things on both sides, obviously, that people feel strongly about, and that's normal.
The more extreme moral issues, yeah.
But there's so many things that I get, the hormone blockers, some of that stuff. I guarantee you 99% of the people that on the left side of things, they don't agree with that either.
They don't want it.
No.
Yeah.
But because it's a Democrat or because something's Republican,
they have to go. They got to be in lockstep.
I gotta. That's my side. No,
that's not the way it should be. No.
The party system's garbage. Our media's garbage.
Yep.
And like you said to start this, right? Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, those guys on podcasts these days, that was huge.
Yeah.
Because what they talk about, all the college campuses, where all the young men,
18 to 24-year-olds turned out for him. Big
were
time.
Conservative this time, and that's not normal.
No.
Normally they're liberal, especially at that age.
Yeah.
And then, some of them obviously turn into conservative, whatever the case may be as they get older, but that's not normal. And I think a lot of that has to do with your Rogan, your Theo Vaughn, your Elon Musk, owning Twitter. You can find about anything you want, say whatever you want on Twitter now, or X, I should say, X. So yeah, it was surprising. I do, there was still some nasty stuff all over social media, so hopefully that goes away. And no matter who won, we all want them to be the best they can be for our country.
Absolutely.
We said a prayer before about everything. Like, if Kamala gets in, I don't want her to fail.
No, you want her to do the best.
If she fails, then we're in trouble, right? Yeah. And the world we're raising our kids is worse off. Like, no, you're an idiot if that's what you want. Yeah.
So I look at the commentators today, not the ones on TV, but the ones more on social media, some of the ones that I follow, like Allie Beth Stuckey. She goes, everyone just relax. She's talking about the other side. She goes, you guys just relax. It's not going to be as bad as you think. the ladies on The View that think they're going to jail for something, you're not going to jail.
They could. That'd be all right.
Gas is going to come down. You're probably going to have a little bit lower taxes. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world for you. It's probably actually going to be slightly better. So just calm down.
Well, what was it his first time in office? Was there
exactly?
Was everybody going to jail? Was everybody, that's getting killed or this or that? Like, no, like, man, you could save money.
Yep.
Everyday people like us, you could save money.
Yep.
Can you save money right now? It's pretty dang hard.
No.
You raise 5. Well, I'm raising 5 kids. Me and my wife. We have good jobs. We're not like crazy, whatever, but good jobs, and it's hard to save money.
Yeah. No, I know. That's why I told Bridget and Ryan. I was like, you guys don't just keep focusing on college. Don't even think about buying a house. Let the market come back down. It's so outrageous right now.
For sure.
And hopefully it will over time. But Trump can't fix that like instantly at all. That's going to take time. That's the markets and stuff like that. But
one thing that I don't think he's not going to play Big Brother to everybody. Like he's gonna worry about us here at home.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get back to how it was the last time.
Yeah. Get this stuff in order, and then we can be
Well, shoot, did you see
on
the stock
stage.
market today already?
I did. And when we went to bed, they were closing down.
Yep.
And overnight, they jumped up.
I think Dow was up, like futures were like up like 1,300 or something like that this morning.
That's a pretty good indicator.
Yeah.
Pretty good indicator.
Yeah.
I remember watching my 401k from 2016 to 2020. Pretty much exact opposite from 2020 to 2024.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's not gonna be as bad as everyone who hates them. It's not gonna be as bad as you think. Just hang on. It's
and I think where we live, right in the middle of America, we're in rural Iowa. Pretty spoiled, pretty lucky.
Oh yeah.
Things are definitely the money stuff that affected us. You could tell groceries are more expensive, gas is more expensive, but outside of like that, we really don't get hit with a lot of the stuff.
No, that's more and coasts,
which is nice for the kids. Like they're able to live a pretty much normal life.
Yeah.
Things are different. People are insane.
Yeah.
People are crazy nowadays, but we don't deal with, like you said, the East and the West Coast. Everything hits there pretty hard, and we're able to still kind of just tug along.
Yep.
Live our life, which is nice.
That's right. All right, that'll do it for part 1 with Taylor Sickles. Guys, I hope his story and the things that he shared encouraged you. Maybe you didn't know about that brain surgery as a kid, that he was just falling over randomly. If that were me, the teachers would have said, yeah, that's just Bubba. He's uncoordinated. And I would have been gone by July. Look at that. But not you. I had a stinking tumor on his brain stem. So, but there's plenty of other good stuff in there, a little bit of political talk in there. Everyone's got their own opinions. That's good stuff. Get that out there and share it. Everybody's got a story to tell or an experience to share, and that's what we do here. We let people share what life has been like for them. But this is not the end of his episode. There's going to be a part 2 next week. We're going to get into his segments. We're going to have some laughs. We may even get into some more serious topics like parenting and accountability and responsibility, stuff like that. I think we just lost our parental audience. It's kind of split. We got the parents, we got like our age and older, and then we got the high schoolers.
Right.
So we probably just lost the parents. If he's gonna bash parents, well, I don't want to hear. I don't need Taylor Sickles telling me how to raise my kids.
Right.
But you guys don't want to miss it. It's gonna be really good stuff. Have I ever steered you wrong? Have I? No. Then come on back. Come on back to the basement next week. Check it out. Thank you guys for listening. As always, your support means a lot to me and my wife. Please, my pitch again, be sure to like, follow, subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. If you don't do that, we can't grow. It's much harder to grow. So you have to do that. Doesn't matter. We're on YouTube as well. Leave us a 5-star rating. Click the bell for notifications. Every app has a little bell. If you don't know when I drop episodes, click that bell. It's going to send you a text every time I put a new episode out, which is going to be Friday mornings, 5 a.m. Follow our Instagram and our Facebook. Guys, I suck at social media. You want to see some stupid reels? I'm on there. That's how you generate traction, I guess. I don't know. And I bug.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard. It's work. You have to make time to get on social media and comment on other people's posts.
It's wild because, like, I do the reels thing, and it's difficult, but my kids are so wild. Like, some of the stuff I can just put on there.
You just point and shoot. I see what you put out there.
Like,
maybe throw a little thing running across the screen.
Yeah. My kids are they're off the wall. Man, they're feral human beings, I swear, half the time. So it's easier for me, but there's still times where it's difficult.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, check out our social media. There's all kinds of good stuff on there. That's where we do our merch giveaways. You want to win something free, a car air freshener, a t-shirt, something like that. Yeah, you got to get on our social media, Facebook and Instagram. Share with your friends on your social media. If you want some of our merch, just let me know. If you got any ideas, you got a segment idea, you got a guest idea, anything like that, you got comments you want to share with me, leave it in the comment section or email me, whatisuppodcast@gmail.com. If you need help with something you want to talk deeper about, maybe something you heard here today, or maybe it was something I said, just reach out. I'll respond to you. I may even give you some airtime, give you a shout out, whatever, but I will help you if you got questions about anything you heard here today. Thanks for the support. It means a lot to me. Lord willing, I'll talk to you on the next one.